Good morning. Welcome. We are on day 15 already, which means that we are stepping into the third week of this program. And when I first started, I had outlined that there were going to be 3 different things that we were going to do. And then each week we were going to repeat so that we could really use consistency to really get the feel for the techniques that I'm teaching, right? So in week 1, it was really all about noticing the natural pattern of your breath. And then in week 2, it was really about noticing the subtle sensations physically, energetically within your womb and within your heart. And this week, what we're going to practice is a technique that comes from somatic experiencing. Okay, so somatic experiencing, or SE, it's also known as somatic therapy. You might have heard of it, or you may not, so I'm just going to explain briefly what it is. So somatic therapy, and I know somatic therapy very well. I am not trained in somatic therapy, but I have worked with a somatic therapist for a few years on a monthly basis, and it has been like the most transformative. Well, maybe not the most, there's a lot of things. Pranayama is also very transformative, but it's been very, very helpful in my own life. And a few of the techniques that I've learned from somatic therapy are techniques that I now use with my students and my clients. And it's a technique for finding more emotional balance. Okay, and the idea is that we store emotions in our body. Okay. Now, you don't necessarily have to have that visual of okay, where is my emotion in my body? But what helps to consider is that when you feel a very strong emotion, okay, that sometimes a strong emotion can be uncomfortable. And so what the body does is the body has this programmed reaction that you might not even be consciously aware of, okay, that you will brace yourself, you will contract, and you will tighten somewhere in your body to prevent yourself from feeling that painful emotion, okay, or that emotion that may bring you discomfort, okay? So then what happens over time is that if you repeatedly experience that emotion, and then your body contracts to really prevent you from letting yourself feel that emotion, then this results in a lot of constriction, a lot of tightness in the body. And then that can be impeding blood flow to certain vital organs. That can be creating a lot of just muscle tension in general, like sometimes back pain, neck pain. Okay, so in the exercise that I'm going to be offering this week, the idea is that I want you to, you might choose to work with one emotion that you feel consistently in your life, okay? And I would invite you to choose an emotion that is a more difficult one. Of course, the beautiful emotions like joy and happiness, these are great, but these are emotions that we often let ourselves experience because they're very comfortable. Okay, so I invite you to think right now, just consider, what is one emotion that is difficult for you, an emotion that you kind of don't really like letting yourself feel. Okay, if nothing comes to mind, then just in the meditation, I'll invite you to maybe notice if something will come up. Okay, and then I'm going to invite you to try to locate where you feel that emotion in your body. Okay, and then the third step is we're going to really breathe into that space to try to let any tightness or constriction that we feel open up. All right, so you're probably already in your comfortable seat. So take your gaze and shift your gaze now away from the screen, away from me. Just begin to tune into the sound of my voice. Begin to utilize your peripheral vision so that the eyes begin to soften, and bring the eyes a little bit more into the eye socket. So you're retracting the eye into the eye socket. The eyelids become a little bit heavy. Allow the eyelids to stay open for now. Begin to notice your breath. And notice the shift into this state of internal awareness, into relationship with yourself. If the eyelids want to close now, go ahead, allow them to close softly. And let yourself feel a complete sense of security and safety. And you can repeat the affirmation that I offered at the beginning of last week. I am safe. I am secure. When the body feels safe, it becomes a little bit easier to let ourselves lean into discomfort. Discomfort is a message. Discomfort has a purpose. It's not to be avoided at all costs. It's something that we can learn from when we lean into it. In this moment, right now, starting from the head and moving down, a slow body scan, bringing your attention towards the head, and then moving from the head down towards the toes, slowly. Notice if the body is holding on to any discomfort in this moment. And then let your attention rest there. It might be very obvious, or it might be a little bit more subtle. If it's more subtle, it might take a little bit more time to locate it. And if you can't choose one location, just go ahead and choose one spot. Now focus the attention there. Imagine that there were a light, a bright white light shining upon the area of the body that you have chosen. Illuminating that area, bringing your consciousness into that area, and bringing your breath into that space. Relaxing the body little by little with each breath. There's more opening, more softening. So now taking your attention away from that particular area and resting the attention on the natural flow of the breath. Bringing the breath into low belly, feeling that expansion, 3 dimensions, front, back, side to side. And each exhale grounds you. You can imagine the exhale grounding you down into the earth, Mother Earth, giving you that sense of support, of firmness, of confidence. And I invite you now to choose a difficult emotion. It could be sadness, anger, grief, shame, doubt. So choose one difficult emotion And then allow yourself to remember a time when you experienced that difficult emotion. And this is going to help you embody that sensation. Okay, we want to let ourselves feel. If it is very painful, we'll just go gently, as much as you feel comfortable. Just seeing if you can evoke that emotion right now in this moment, so that you can notice where you feel it in your body. So my example is sadness. I feel sadness. And when I look in my body for sadness, sadness is in my throat. I notice a constriction, a tightening in my throat. You might notice your emotion in your chest. You might notice your emotion in your gut, your digestive system. You might notice it in your back, maybe your shoulders. And once you have located the emotion inside of your body, I want you to imagine now that with your breath, that you are letting this emotion, you are letting it expand. And expanding to fill the contour of the outline of the body. And imagine your body as a container, like a Tupperware. And that emotion, you're letting it diffuse, you're letting it spread, that it's no longer in one location, and it's now really taking up more space. And as it takes up more space, the intensity becomes less, becomes softer. You're not holding anymore. It's lighter in the body. There's more movement of prana, more movement of energy. You can invite that energy downwards into the pelvis. This helps us feel grounded in the physical body. Let the low belly expand with the in-breath. And relax with the out-breath. And we'll transition now into a few minutes of silent mindfulness meditation. So releasing this practice, releasing the exercise, and now coming back to the sensation of the breath. Tracing your breath with your mind's eye. Resting your attention inwards. Connecting with that sense of deep inner calm, inner peace, inner wisdom. You are unique. Your body is unique. Your body knows. Body knows what's best for you. All you need to do is tune in and listen. Begin to deepen your breath now. Widen the nostrils on the inhale. Take in more air. Fill all the way up to the rib cage, clavicles. And you can exhale with a sigh if you'd like. Maybe some movement in the head and shoulders. I invite you to bring your hands to your heart and down, turning inwards towards your heart, towards your body. The light in me sees and bows to the light in you. Together, we are one. Namaste.